Well, hello everyone, and welcome to The Horror Snob. My name's Michael James. I am The Horror Snob. Here today talking about another Fresh Frights selection for you. This week we're going to Hulu to find ourselves a decent creature feature film that you likely have not paid too close attention to, called Sea Fever. If you somehow have missed out on this movie, are unfamiliar with it, or just bypassed it not thinking much of it, that's okay. I'm going to give you the full rundown now and let you know whether it's worthy of a watch. A creature feature film that sits somewhere between things like Leviathan or Deep Star 6, with a manner that really is more representative of things like Monsters. The pacing, the threat of it, the ominence, without the massive amounts of gore. It's really more about creating these very subtle, very subdued moments of terror. The premise follows a small group of people on a fishing trawler off the coast of Ireland. Small group led by two actors we're very familiar with as horror fans, Connie Nielsen and Doug Ray Scott. Nielsen you'll know from things like Gladiator, more recently Wonder Woman, and as horror fans, most particularly as the lustful sister of Keanu Reeves in The Devil's Advocate. Doug Ray Scott comes from areas like Mission Impossible, he was in the second of those, as well as things like Ever After and Hemlock Grove for us horror fans. A original Netflix show, in fact I think it was the first original Netflix show, going back to about 2013. These two represent the big names in this movie, solid actors, solid careers, and do well in their roles. But neither of them are the key person to really focus on. Our lead instead comes from the most introverted of characters within this movie, actress Hermione Corfield, who portrays Saban, a student marine biologist who's tagging along for the ride as this trawler makes one last brave attempt to try and rack in some big bucks on a massive haul before the season ends. Sounds simple enough. A mission that they've been through before, have done 100 times over, and yet, of course, we will hit that pinnacle moment where the introductions are done, we're familiar with the characters, and now things can go bad and in a hurry. The vessel ends up getting ensnared by an unknown entity, a creature unlike anything we've seen before. Cue in our marine biologist student, who through her many trials of discovery figures out what this creature is, what it's doing to their vessel, and how it is slowly killing them off one at a time. A solid story that's not unfamiliar to us at all. We're accustomed to horror movies constantly taking a group of 5, 7, maybe 10 people and cutting throats one at a time until we're down to the final 2, maybe 3 at the most. We're also familiar with creature feature films, deep sea animals, things like I mentioned before, Leviathan, Deep Star 6, maybe Deep Rising, or if you're thinking above ground, you can go to The Thing and its follow-up, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and on and on. What helps this movie stand out a little bit is that it is well acted, well portrayed, well written, and well photographed. It's not a phenomenal film, it's not going to blow your mind, but it is a solid watch. With its only hindrance being that within the first 15 to 20 minutes, the dialogue does get a little lost. The characters all have heavy accents, and so the dialogue gets a little muddled. It takes a while for us as viewers, not familiar with these accents, to get accustomed to how they're saying things less than what they're saying, so that we can translate for ourselves as we move along. You push your way through that, get into the heart of the movie, and you're going to find a watch that's a really enjoyable, subtle horror film that's going to sneak up on you for being better than what you thought it was. In the end, I have to give it a good middling grade of a B+. A solid watch, one I would probably go to again, but not a dozen or 2 dozen times in my lifetime. Alright, that's it for me today. As always, I invite you to take a moment, hit that subscribe button, stay up to date with all the reviews I've got coming out, and while you're at it, hit the bell too, so you can be notified whenever anything new comes up. My name is Michael James. I am the Horror Snob. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.